All right, we're going to show you two different exercises that we would consider part of our pillar protection program. Kind of one that's going to be more focused on our posterior chain, our hamstrings, and our glutes and our lower back, which is going to be our first exercise. And then we're going to transition to a core drill or a front side pillar drill that doesn't quite look like a typical sit-up or crunch or Russian twist, but is definitely a great option for you, again, to protect your pillar and be resilient to injury and perform very well at the same time. So what we're going to do here is we're going to show you first a stability ball hip lift combo. Now you've got some options if you don't have a ball. You can do a hip lift with your feet flat on the ground, and you can also do the rollout if you had a slick surface and a towel. But for today's video, we're going to show you with a ball, pretty standard piece of equipment in most gyms. What we're going to do is coach is going to roll the ball all the way in, as close to his butt as he can get it. He's going to try to put his foot flat on the ball if he can. Right there, that's perfect. We want to make sure that from here, when we first lift up, now the ball's really not going to move. We want our toes to track forward, our knees to stay in line with our hips, okay? And we want to lift from our glutes and our butt, not from our low back. So we're going to start, he's going to press into the ball, he's going to lift, and he's going to hold here. If you notice, we want to really control that ball, not let it go anywhere. From here, we're going to eccentrically demand the hamstrings to control the ball all the way out. He's going to reverse that movement all the way back in as he drives his hips up, and then he's going to lower his tailbone to the ground. That's one. Now, coach, let's move through that one a little bit quicker. So glutes, hamstrings eccentrically, hamstrings concentrically, and front side pillar controls on the way down. Here we go. Again, lift up, knees track, slow roll on the way out, pull it in, hips go high, 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 down. Give me one more. When you start that pull, I want your hips to stay high. Don't let your hips drop. All the way up, squeeze your butt, roll out, pull in high. That's a good rep, and down. Great job, okay? Once you go ahead and stand up and flip over to the other side so we can get ready for push-up plank with some perturbations. Coach, you want to come in and give him some disturbance. So again, just to show you there, that's a great combination movement. Being able to access your glutes and your hamstrings through a couple different planes of movement at a couple different speeds is great to be able to train the hamstrings and the glutes. Now what we're going to show you is a push-up plank on the stability ball, so I can use the same piece of equipment and work on the front side of my pillar while I've got a partner that's going to essentially disturb the ball for a certain amount of taps or for a certain amount of seconds. And this is going to be a great way to work coach's ability to maintain position in his pillar while there's a lot of dynamic action moving on around him. So, coach, go ahead and get set up on the ball first. You'll see here this is going to be very similar to the setup we just talked about earlier in the push-up. His feet are going to be active. His legs are going to be long. His hips are, there you go, right there. His hips are going to be up and engaged, belly button active, spine is flat. A lot of good things going on there from a positional standpoint. Now, granted, he's on the ball, so it looks a little different, but his body positions are the same as when he was on the ground. Now from here, coach is going to start to give him some really light perturbations, and what that means is just a disturbance in the environment. He can give him left to right, front to back, he can push and pull, and you're going to see coach having to work really hard right here. His hands are going to move, okay, kind of via the shoulder, but what we really want is his pillar to be solid and him to be able to control outside disturbances without moving in here. It's a great way to train your core and your pillar for strength and efficiency. Good, relax and pop up, coach. Great job right there. So those two drills, again, first one being more focused on our backside, our glutes and our hamstrings for our pillar protective type mechanisms. And then that way right there with the stability ball push-up plank and partner perturbation, you really have to fight to make sure you're keeping a great neutral center while the environment is getting disturbed around you. So those are two pieces that we'll usually utilize at the end of a workout or an exercise to try to make sure that we're protecting our body and increasing our resiliency.